Well, Frank Reich is kicking off his college football career as a coach, and it's going to start on the islands playing against the Rainbow Warriors and Timmy Chang's squad, the Hawaii football team. This is going to be an exciting game. I'm really excited to end Saturday night, the first day of some college football, with this game here. There's a reason why the spread is very tight, and maybe some people are going to be surprised when they see who's favored in this game. But for those of you new around here, my name is Colin Bashnigal, your host here at Bash's College Football Show. You can find me over here on TikTok at Bash's CFB Show if you want more regular interaction, live reactions to some games, and all that stuff over there. If you use TikTok, it's worth a follow. I can promise you that. So when we're looking at this game between Hawaii and the Stanford Cardinal, this is a game that you have to question what Stanford has offensively. That's where it starts. This is all about Stanford, the Power 4 team here. Can they compete better in the ACC after getting rid of Troy Taylor? The whole saga that happened over there. What are they going to look like on offense? Ben Galbraithson comes in off of a medical retirement. The former Oregon State starting quarterback is now going to be the starting quarterback after he was convinced to come back to football. And he's going to start with losing a couple of weapons for Stanford. Alec Manor hit the NFL draft, drafted by the Titans, and then obviously Emmett Mosley went over to Texas to try to shine over there. So what are they going to do to replace him? Well, they brought in a couple of transfers. One worth noting is Caden High, but the one that they need to show his blue chip potential, as he was a 4-star coming out of high school, to USC, then Wisconsin, now to Stanford, CJ Williams. He's really going to have to step up and show that talent for this pass game to really elevate. The other thing, too, is this offensive line is patchwork, and you're bringing in Frank Reich, which, though he does have a little bit of influence when it comes to an NFL-style passing game, bringing in a guy like Ben Galbraithson, who ran a heavy play-action pass type Ben Johnson type of offense with Jonathan Smith, I almost want to say, That's what he ran. So I almost wonder if the identity is going to shift for Stanford. And I just don't know if their offensive line is good enough. I don't know if their running backs are good enough. I mean, they have sophomore Micah Ford, who led the team in rushing last year, but he didn't even scratch 400 yards a year ago for the Stanford Cardinals. So looking at Micah Ford, I'm definitely a little bit concerned about this run game behind that offensive line. The tight end, by the way, Sam Roush, that is the bright spot of this offense. He is an absolute dog over there at the tight end spot. Expect for him to have a pretty solid year, but if your only player that you can count on offense, or at least if the only player I can count on offense is your tight end, I am very worried about that. Now, when you look at this Hawaii offense that is going to be on the other side, Micah Alejado took over at the end of the year for Braden Shager, who had to miss the New Mexico game, and he filled in, showing off the future as a true freshman, ended up redshirting last year. 37 for 57 was his stat line. 469 yards and 5 touchdowns against New Mexico. Albeit, it's New Mexico. They ain't got Cullen Wright, the star cornerback for Stanford, back there. But, I mean, come on. As a true freshman coming in, the left-handed 5'10", 5'11", roughly around there, who's had an offseason to develop. I am very high on Micah Alejado having a big year here. I think he's going to step in and be a potential upgrade from Shager a year ago. Now, when you look at what he has at the wide receiver core, you got to look at Nick Senecal. He's back for another year. And then one of their top targets as well, Pofeli Ashcock. He is back for another year as well. This wide receiver core looks to be pretty solid, pretty experienced. They use a lot of wide receivers, a lot of 4-wide sets. I mean, what Timmy Chang is doing is the classic June Jones approach, right? His coach in college. This is going to be incredible. And to watch unfold this matchup between the secondary that has some guys that can really play. That's the strength of the Stanford team, is the secondary. You got Jordan Washington, Colin Wright. I already talked about him. And then you also got Mitch Liegber at the safety spot, who I think is a really good player too. The front seven is also a bunch of returning guys, but they did not necessarily impress me a ton last year. So I want to see them elevate a little bit because I think the Stanford defense is going to have to carry the day for this squad. Now, when you're talking about this game, having an experienced O-line at Hawaii, adding in transfers to go with the wide receivers you already got back, Landon Sims, a perfect system fit for this Hawaii team. I think this offense is going to be too productive for the slow start that Stanford is going to be on their offensive possessions. I actually got Hawaii winning by multiple scores here. I have Hawaii going and beating Stanford 28-16 in this ball game. I think the offense is going to struggle a lot for Stanford. It doesn't matter that it's against Hawaii. It doesn't matter that we could question their defense a little bit. And I think Hawaii's offense is going to be able to do enough to vault themselves further along than Stanford could possibly do on the offensive side of the ball. I am really high on this Hawaii team. I'm excited to see Micah Alahado. This is probably the most winnable game on the schedule for Stanford. So if you are a Stanford fan over here, I really don't want you to be too discouraged from this pick. We got to see what Stanford looks like with Frank Reich. Comment down below your thoughts on this game and make sure you like the video. Subscribe for more college football content. And let's enjoy some college football together. We will have Walk That Line before the noon game on Saturday. I don't exactly know when it's going to come out, but we will have Walk That Line coming out to you here soon. So thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. I'm just going to keep floating that out there. I'll see you guys in the next video.